Hello, everyone. Hello to all. Good evening. So, do we have the interpreters ready? Yes. So, the interpreters are ready. All right. Good. Okay. So, let's continue. I'm facing a little bit of internet issue. Now it's better. Okay. Can you all see me clearly? I am facing some issue. Hold on. Okay. Now it's better. Okay. Hi. So, I can see you all. Happy to see you all. It's been a long. So today, Here a Million is organizing a panel discussion. So last one we held it in September. We were busy with the Deaf Month and the International Week of the Deaf. So today we are having a panel discussion. Okay. So my name is Tushar, Tushar. This is my sign name. So I work with the Here a Million team. So over Zoom, you must have seen Dr. Allen. So that's it. Now I'm taking the lead to host it. So Dr. Allen is busy, occupied with other stuff. So he will join us soon. Sure. Okay. So I'm hoping that you all will be having great celebrations during the festive season, especially Diwali is coming up. So in India, there are many deaf schools, right? So now we are seeing that this slight change is coming up. We are seeing more and more deaf teachers getting employed at various organizations. But I think that's not enough. We need more, right? We need the number of deaf teachers to be more deaf teachers to be employed. Why is that? Because we need the deaf children to learn from deaf teachers because they both have the same experiences. The deaf teachers understand the deaf culture and the children will understand in a much better way from those teachers. So we are going to discuss about diploma in education, hearing impairment, and diploma in teaching Indian Sign Language. So what about the applications of these two courses, D8 and DTI still? So are these two courses similar or different? A lot of deaf people have confusion regarding these two. So that's why we have organized this panel discussion so that we can have more applicants and you can clear your doubts and choose the course for your best suiting. So we have people here. After they have spoken, the presenters, you can also raise your hand and ask your questions. So, all right, thank you for listening me. Now, I'm going to welcome Pallavi and Sapan. So, I'm going to spotlight both of them.
Hello.
Hello, Pallavi.
Hello.
All right, great. Great to have you here. And I'm waiting for Sapan. I cannot see him.
Yes.
Sapan, please raise your hand.
Yeah, it's here. He's here.
All right, thank you for spotlighting me. Sapan say, all right. Tushar is saying, great. Okay, nice to see you, Sapan. So, first, tell us a little background about yourself. Like, what are you doing right now? So, please go ahead. So, Sapan is
Yes,
saying first,
Sapan, you
Pallavi.
can start.
Okay, Sapan is saying that's my sign name. Sapan, that's how you sign my name. You can see my name over here on the screen as well. So, as you know, Haryana Welfare Society for Persons with Speech and Hearing Impairments, Panchkula Center. There, I am working as a course coordinator for the DTISL course. Now, over to Pallavi.
Yeah, my name is Pallavi, Pallavi. Okay, you can see my name over there. And this is my sign name. Officer of the society, and I support in every project.
Tushar Singh, great. So, you have been teaching for the past 1 year and you have many more years of experience in teaching as well. And regarding these two courses, D8, HI, and DTISL, are these two courses similar or different? What are the differences? Can you please share that with us? So, who
Yeah,
would like to
these
start?
two courses are different. Sapan, will you want to start?
So, Saban is saying yes. So, the two courses that you're mentioning, they are D8 HI and DTISL, both are totally different. They are like on the opposite poles. So since January 2021, we started these two courses at the Panchkula Center. So we invited a lot of students to apply for these courses. And we also had some students who were confused that these two are similar. We can apply for any one of these. But the DAHI course makes you a teacher. You can teach different subjects like Hindi, math, science. So you become a subject teacher for classes 1 to 8. So both hearing and deaf can apply for D8 HI course. But on the other hand, DTISL course, it makes you a teacher of Indian Sign Language, and it is only for deaf children. Deaf students can only apply for that. So like you can have video makers, content creators who are proficient in Indian Sign Language, they can apply for that course.
Yeah, Sapan is right. D8 HI course, after doing that course, you will become a teacher. Students will become a teacher. It is not as we can say that equivalent to ISL teacher or not. Both courses are equal. D8 and DTISL, both courses are good in their own ways. And the certification is also equal for both the courses. And after doing that courses, they will get a job in all over India. They can teach in different institutions or organizations after doing D8 course. They will they will work as a teacher. So both courses are different. The details of both the courses are different from each other, and we have assessment and the examinations of both the courses are conducting in different ways. So since long time we see that deaf people are not applying for the D8 courses. Only one Joyshri is a deaf, and she has applied for that course in 2012, and she faced challenges because the course included audiology course, and now we see that there has been implementation in the D8 course. So in the Northeast, she informed me that the Joyshri and NCRT they have passed 12th, and two more deaf students have applied. I think they are here. No, it's a disturbance.
That person is muted now. Share, you will have to unmute. So yes, like us deaf people don't face those challenges of like the interruption because of that. So okay. So the course, DHI course, like majorly focused on oralism, the oralist method of teaching deaf children. So okay, oralism fine, but like it explained more about oralism. So we wanted to focus on ISL also, the bilingualism method. So we don't want that ISL teachers are not enough. We wanted that we have teachers for different subjects who are deaf. So that's why we started this course at our center in Panchkula. Sapan is saying, I would like to add to that so that you have more clarity. So DTISL course, when it started, deaf people were apprehensive of it, but the name is there, but the course was there since earlier, since these batches started. It was called the level A, B, and C. So similarly, like the DISLI course had ABC level, the teachers for deaf also had, ISL teachers also had the ABC level. So now that course changed from 1 year to a 2-year course, and now it's called DTISL and DISLI. So DISLI, doing that, you become interpreters, sign language interpreters, and DTISL, you become Indian Sign Language teachers. So the only similarity is that both the courses are for 2 years. The duration is same. That's it. So earlier, deaf children used to say that we did not have teachers who were proficient in Indian Sign Language. So we made our institute such that all the teachers were teaching in Indian Sign Language.
Yeah, one more thing, that interpreters course is different, and we do not in India. Uh, we have a D8 and HI course, and uh, it's a basic course, right? A, B, and C level only. But there is not the long period course, so it's the interpreters course, the discussions is very less, so hearing people are interested in learning the sign language, but still we don't have teachers, many teachers. So for interpreters course we need more deaf teachers, and if they will teach, the teachers will teach the deaf students, the role should be the change. So it's important, right? So since long time it's been the same, it's not changed, so there has been no proper teacher we had. So that's why it is important to be that we have a good deaf teacher, and for hearing as well as deaf students, so they can be proficient in their own courses.
So in our D8 batch, we have 25 deaf students and 5 hearing students. It's an inclusive setup. Tushar is asking, so D8 HI course. So after doing that course, completing it after 2 years, you become teacher. So like, which classes do you teach? Like, and second question is, after doing DTI still, completing your diploma, so where can you get employed? So do you become a teacher for the DISLI course, or do you work at an institution?
After doing D8 course, they get class 8. They can teach till class 8,
So
and
class
they
1
can
to
also
8.
teach class 1 to 8 and early intervention, nursery till class 8 after doing D8. And if they want to teach 9 to 12, then they'll have to do B.Ed also. That's Bachelor of Education.
Okay, okay. And if, okay,
Yeah, I've learned from, like, they can support each other and they can teach other classes.
if you do B.Ed HI, so you can teach from classes 1 to 12th, or only you're limited to 9 to 12th if you do B.Ed HI.
Complete.
Okay,
Yeah,
from early intervention to 12th after doing
yes.
B.Ed HI.
After doing D8 HI, they can teach, or after doing B.Ed, they can also teach the other students. So
Okay.
D8 and D8 HI and B.Ed is equivalent, but it's difficult, to teach higher classes. Earlier it was not allowed. So now, after doing D8, they must have 10 years of experience. Then they will be eligible to teach D8 students as well. Or after doing B.Ed and also have 5 years of experience, then they can teach other students. So, like me, I'm teaching those students. So, like that, I have 5 years of
So,
experience.
Saban, would you like to add? So, Saban is saying, so as you asked, that after completing DET ISL course, so they can become teachers of Indian Sign Language. So these teachers who complete DT ISL teach the students who are learning in DISLI. Okay. Secondly, in DT ISL, after completing that, you can teach DISLI students also and DT ISL also. And one more position you can get. So there's no curriculum for that. Like they're different subjects, but for ISL, there's no specific curriculum in India yet. But now at Haryana Welfare Society for Personal Speech and Hearing Impairment, as we have different subjects, we earlier in 3 years ago only we started adding the subject Indian Sign Language. So on not just at our 8 centers, we want it to be in all over India, that subject is taught like any other subject.
Yeah, one more thing I would like to add. Pallavi's here.
Okay, Pallavi, yes.
So in India, as many institutions are conducting D8 HI courses, and many institutions are there, but there is no accessibility for that courses. And as we talked about the implementation, so it is written over there that there must be a deaf teacher, where who like which centers are conducting D8 HI courses, they must have a deaf teacher, and that deaf teacher should be there basically, and interpreter also for proper accessibility.
So this thing actually, so this is a big challenge in India, that as a hearing person, I can teach different subjects, What about ISL, Indian Sign Language? Who will be teaching that? Because teachers are not proficient in that. They don't have any knowledge about ISL. So now, earlier there was no inclusion of that, but now we had that these 25 deaf students in the D8 HI batch. They advocated with RCI. Now they have started adding the new subject, that is Indian Sign Language and deaf culture. So now that is also there, so they can learn about Indian Sign Language deaf culture as well. So Tushar is asking, so D8 HI course you have been teaching in since the past 1 year, both these courses, D8 HI and DTISL, you have a good batch, 30 students. So what are the challenges that you have faced and what are the success stories? So would you like to share?
Yeah, there was big challenges, and I'm facing the challenges as like after doing B8 HI course, teaching hearing and deaf students is literally different, not the same. The concept because Sapan, you have done the BAHI course, and Ankit Vishwakarma also has done. They are the project coordinator of early intervention, and they have not they have not accessibility. They have not got accessibility in that courses. So the teaching was limited, and they faced many challenges. And when they applied for the job, and they also didn't get any job opportunities after doing that courses because they didn't learn that course in sign language properly. So after doing that course, hopefully we'll have a good batch of the teachers, then they will be able to teach with proper accessibility. So we share all together, and when we have doubt, and this is how we teach.
Sapan. Okay, so okay, right. So D8HI, I am the course coordinator of DTSL and the teacher there. I did not face any challenges. So this one challenge that we specifically faced was that there is no study material for DTISL. I have to Google all the data. I have to like contact other institutions like ISLA TC, but we don't have any comprehensive, a good database or like a study material which we can refer to. So some at our institute we might be teaching something, at another institute they might be teaching something else in theory. So that is there. And then while teaching English, so as an English teacher, I'm teaching them, but we need support from hearing teachers who have good knowledge of English, but they are not proficient in sign language. How will they teach these deaf students? So these are the challenges that we face. So you're talking
Yes,
about like success. What about success? Like, so since the DTISL, you see that these are the success, that these are the good winnings that you have got, positives that you take. Sapan is saying that after teaching in DTISL, I can see that these students, even after taking up the Google research and everything, we have found study material and these students are learning, they are growing. So it is wonderful that they are learning from that. And we are also working in hand with D8HI also, so that these students learn and they are learning and they are doing well. So a lot of positives are there. And Pallavi, would you like to add?
yes. So it's the first time that I'm teaching the DAHI course, and the course is difficult. It's complex. Signing is easy, but still it but still the students it's difficult to teach the make them write and do all the theoretical part. So yeah, I'm teaching like it's confidently, and it's really been hard work for me, and I'm trying that the all students learn really in a great way, then they will be able to teach properly. So we have seen the success, and they are hardworking students, are doing themselves the assignments, and whatever we are teaching them, they are doing really great. And so we all are connected and doing yeah, it's been going great.
Excuse me. Sorry for the interruption. Just hold on. Okay, Sapan is saying, so okay, I will continue. So DTISL course and D8HI courses, these two courses. So now, after some years, I think these challenges will be gone. So like we are taking the small steps. Right now we are learning, we are sharing our experiences together. And I think as we move forward, we will have more efficient teachers going forward. Okay, Tushar Singh, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And I can see, so this is what you were telling us about, Pallavi, that the peer-to-peer support, that the students are working together
Yes.
and they are taking the lead. Excuse me. All right. So sorry for the interruption again. Okay, I was saying yes, the peer-to-peer support, the students working together, taking the lead, and patiently teaching them and learning and applying that knowledge. Okay, my screen froze again. Okay, so I was saying that my question to you, Pallavi. So you have five hearing students in that batch,
Yes.
and the other 25 are deaf. So how was it? So was that course taught by a hearing teacher or a deaf teacher? So as you told that Ankit Vishwakarma was there, Pulmati was there. So
Yes.
what was it like? So and what were the experiences of those five students? Like they saw so many deaf peers, and then teachers was also teaching in sign language. And what about you? Like what was your experience teaching those students?
Yeah, is there Ankit Vishwakarma is there, I guess. You can raise your hand if you want to add to that question. Ankit, you there? He's not raising his hand.
Yes, Ankit, you can continue. Yes, Ankit. So can you please give a little intro about yourself and then you can answer the question?
Yeah, I'm project coordinator of early intervention project at the Haryam Welfare Society, and this is my name, Ankit Vishwakarma. So I am working in the early intervention project. Also, I am working as an assistant teacher with Pallavi ma'am. She is the basically coordinator of that course, and I support her in teaching, and we provide solution to each other and assist each other. Okay, what were you
Okay,
asking?
so my question to you is that in the D8 course, you have five hearing students and 25 deaf students. So what was it like interacting with these children and what were their experiences? I think since childhood, they must have only encountered spoken language and hearing teachers, but now learning in
Yeah,
sign language from deaf teachers. What was their experience?
yeah. I we have five hearing students and 25 deaf students, as we know that. But we have interpreters also for their accessibility, and teachers teach in sign language, and they haven't provided feedback to us yet. And if hearing students are there in this session, they can raise their hand and share their experience, how they are feeling, and how their experiences of learning D8 course with along with the deaf students.
Okay. So what about you, Ankit? So what was your experience teaching them? So was it smooth or did you face any challenge, hindrances?
Yeah, the five hearing students are there. And earlier, when they joined the course, they're signing. They were not fluent in sign language and they didn't understand the sign language. But they really try to learn the sign language, and we teach them that it's important to learn sign language in the D8 course. And we have interpreters in the D8 class every day, so they must learn Indian Sign Language before teaching the students later. So we are motivating them to learn sign language, and they will get better uh, in the after learning the sign language. And we can communicate. They communicate with us, and they are really improving and going better and better every day.
Great. Thank you for sharing that, Ankit. Wonderful.
Great.
Thank you. Now, can Pallavi ma'am please join back? Okay, she said. So this is the last question to you both. So these two courses, DTISL and DHI, I hope that the clarity is there. And once we have the question and answer, we will have you back again,
All
Sapan
right.
and Pallavi. Okay,
Yeah.
so stay in touch.
There's just one thing I would like to add. I will add Ankit's experience. So five hearing students are there in a center, and so Sapan, me, and we had interview of hearing teachers. So we have informed that there will be only signing in the classes, and not the uh, voicing from the teachers. There will be interpreters only. So we have informed them already. So we are teaching them in sign language, and they are learning that, and they are
So we gained their confidence actually. So like we just wanted to make it clear to them that this institute is different. Like all in India, like you might have heard something else, but here we are focusing on sign language. Yeah, we will be teaching in sign language. So we told them that you need to enhance your signing skills and you need to learn sign language. So we made them that promise. They kept that promise and now they're learning and we're supporting them in any manner. We had sign language interpreters. Now they are talking to us face to face. Now they're even talking to their peers without interpreters. So that's wonderful. Sapan is saying, so D8HI course and DTISL course. In DTISL course, there were like many students who were applying, but before that, we had interview process also. We wanted to have that understanding of their mindset. If that student is really eager to be a teacher of Indian Sign Language or not. So before joining, we asked them that, do you want to do this course or not? Do you know about like what will happen after you complete this course? So after that only we took the admissions.
Also, one important thing I would like to say that it's really, we are fortunate, and it's really beneficial for all the students that it is students have to go to the centers and give the exams. Whether it's a D8 course or DTISL course, there is the examinations, so they have to go to the centers. But during the COVID, examination was cancelled. So after the 12th class, they must have, after 12th class, they can apply for the course. So more hearing students applied for that course, and they were interested, and they didn't get the examination. So it was a really positive part for them, and we
So
got
you're
the
saying like
admissions.
there should be an entrance exam later on also?
No, not
Okay,
now.
okay. So one last question to you both. D8HI and DTISL course. If the students want to apply, so what are the eligibility criteria? So who all can apply for these two courses and what is the application process? Can you just give us a brief about that?
Yes, Sapan, you can answer that.
Okay, so RCI, Rehabilitation Council of India, is the authority who manages these two courses, who runs these two courses. So the minimum eligibility is 12th. You need to clear your 12th, and your percentage is for the DTISL course is D8HI course is 50%, and for DTISL course it is 45%. So 45% or above, you can apply for these two. And for DTISL, only deaf candidates can apply. D8HI can be applied by both deaf and hearing candidates. So DTISL course is exclusively for deaf only because they want to become ISL teachers. So only deaf can teach Indian Sign Language. So that's why the course is only for deaf candidates. So we also had some misunderstanding that a lot of hearing students got admission into DTISL. We contacted RC and they handled that situation. So we had the full batch of 30 students who are deaf. So we can share it on the chat. So the link where you can apply. So you just have to register on the RCI's website, and there, based on your 12th mark, there will be a merit list and you will get the choice of your center. And so from one email ID, only one account can be made and only one course can be applied from one email ID. So you will have to create a email ID and password on the RCI website. So if you want to apply for both the courses, then you will have to have separate email IDs and separate mobile numbers.
Another important thing is we had last year experience that uh, during online form filling, so many students misunderstood the process and they applied for the categories were confusing, like for general category and SC, ST, PWD, OBC. So these are the categories for that, and they just applied randomly, chose one and applied for that. So many students have applied for PWDs, and they didn't have experience of that what will happen if they will put the PWD category. So many students were missing. They were not shortlisted for that course because before PWD category, only 2 seats are available. So only 2 seats are available, as I said. So general category, they have 14 seats, and for ST, SC, and other categories, they have few number of seats. But for PWD, only two categories are only 2 seats are available over there. So they didn't get shortlisted. So that was the problem, and that was the problem we faced last year. So this year we are doing proper care of that, and we are telling them that fill the form properly and hope it's going good.
So Sapan is saying, so there are different categories. I've sent it in the chat. So in DHI course, there are many regions in India. So they can choose the Haryana center. Okay. So if they choose the Haryana center, so as deaf candidates, you want accessibility. This is the only course, DHI course in India, that is accessible for the deaf candidates because the teachers teach it in Indian Sign Language. Because you will have to come from far away places also, because nearby centers might not give you accessibility in Indian Sign Language. We also provide sign language interpreters as well. So that's why you need to choose the category carefully, because if you choose PWD only 2 candidates will be chosen, and then you will have to get into the second choice center, and that is not enough. So for DTISL, we have only 3 institutes in India: IDBA, Indore, ISLA TC, and Haryana's Panchkula Center. So a lot of students want to apply for these. So we are hoping that we have more centers that run the DTISL course, and we're hoping RCI that soon. And but D8HI is only limited to Haryana, Panchkula, because at the other centers there's no sign language accessibility. So Tushar is saying, so for DTISL we have 3 choices, but for D8HI, if deaf candidates want to apply and have accessibility and understand the
Yeah,
whole
many
course, you
students
don't have. But
are
there are
applying,
many
but
courses all over India, right? Like institutes that run this course. Okay, so after completing 12, they can apply for the RCI website, and based on their marks, they will create a merit list, right? So what if they don't get that center? Then they will have to go to the second choice center, right? Sapan is saying yes, correct.
yeah,
So that is one challenge that we might face.
yeah, Pallavi is here. Yeah, we had experience of that, that the course has been delayed, that after finishing the examination was in June, it started, but it has been delayed, and in October this month there was exam of that course. So many students have applied for that, for college, the degree course. So we have less applicants right now. So let's see, let's hope that it
So
will
don't
open
be
soon.
worried
And
about like your name might come in the second list or the third list. So don't be sad if your name does not come in the first list, because a lot of students don't apply, don't take admission. So Sapan is saying that some say NISH, National Institute of Speech and Hearing is there, but like as I told you, that DTISL is only run at 3 centers, but DISLI niche only runs the DISLI course. So don't be confused between DISLI and DTISL. So if you want to become an Indian Sign Language teacher, then there are only 3 choices for you, 3 institutes. Tushar is asking Pallavi. So in D8HI, you have 25 deaf students. So it's so amazing that I think this is the unique batch that there are so many deaf students in the D8HI course.
yeah, true. So when course started, we have not advertised our courses that we have started that course here. So it's really fortunate for us that many deaf students apply for that course, DHI. So if hearing students are applying, that's good, but we really need more deaf students here.
So Sapan is saying, yes, we are calling them face to face, like
Yeah, we are
calling them
doing
on
that.
WhatsApp, so that
Yeah, we
more and
really
more deaf
need that
candidates
more and
apply.
more deaf students can apply for DHI course.
Tushar is saying, thank you so much. All these are clear. So once we have the question answer session, we want you guys to be back again.
All
Good.
right.
Thank you. So I know a lot of you have many questions. We will keep them on hold. First, we will have the poll. Before the poll, we will show you the PPT which has the question. Okay, so the question is, do you want to become a deaf teacher or trainer? So the first question regarding that topic is, so do you understand the difference between DTISL and DHI course? So right now, Sapan and Pallavi explained, shared their experiences, and told you about DTISL and D8HI. So you become different teachers doing these two courses. So is it clear to you? Then press yes. If you're still unclear, then press no. So if you're like 50-50, then press maybe. Okay. So please stop sharing the PPT. Okay. So please show the poll. So the poll is there in front of your screen. Do you understand the difference between DTISL and D8HI course? If it is clear, then press yes. If unclear, then press no. 50-50, then press maybe. You only have to choose one option. Please start clicking. So can you all see the course? A poll, sorry. Okay, the poll is not there. Can you please share the poll again? Leon, can you please share the poll again? We have Gautam here. He's saying that the poll instantly shows the results. Gautam, okay. So can you all see the poll? Okay, so start clicking. Yes, no, maybe. I will explain the choices again. So the question is that do you understand the difference between DTISL and D8HI? If you've understood, then click yes. If you're unclear, then click no. If still confused about it, then click maybe. So some of you are saying that the poll is not showing up. Gautam is here. Gautam is saying that it is shared, the poll is up and running. So shall we show the results now, Tushar? Tushar is saying that okay, you can show the results. Apologies for that. Maybe there might be some technical issue, a technical glitch. Some of you can see the poll, some of you cannot. So, okay, first question. If you have missed it, please enter and click in the second one. So right now the results are here. 112 of you. 74% says that yes, you are clear between the difference between DTISL and D8HI. 17% of you are on maybe, and 9% says no. You are still unclear. So thank you for participating in that poll. Now, Sunil Patida, please raise your hand.
Hello.
Hi, Sunil. Wonderful to have you here.
Great.
Please give a short, brief introduction about yourself.
Okay. So thank you to Hero Millennium team for inviting me to this session. So DTI, here we are discussing about D8 and DTISL course. No, sorry. D8, HI and DTISL course. So this is the great opportunity that everyone should know about this course, and we are here to tell them about the course. This is my sign name, and my name is Sunil Patidar, Patidar. I am working as an ISL teacher and master trainer. in IDBA school, Indore Deaf Bilingual Academy, which is located at Indore.
Okay, so Sunil, so you have a long experience teaching
Yes.
over at IDBA. So do you only teach DTISL or DISLI students, or you also teach deaf students in classrooms? So please
All
share your
right.
experience.
Thank you for your questions. So earlier, I used to teach A level, B level, and C level course, and we had that courses 3 months course of A level. And past 2 year, I first started teaching DISLI course, DISLI, DISLI Diploma in Teaching Indian Sign Language. So the syllabus of DISLI course was really short, but we had no curriculum. But we have no curriculum for this course. Earlier we had A level, B level, and C level course, the advanced course. So we started teaching on the basis of that course. We had the students here, and we discussed about the topic among the students, and I try to explain the students. And after clearing the concept, so I give the students the assignments, the PPT to make themselves. So the student used to make themselves. After that, they show me that PPT. So we analyze accordingly. So it was the great experience, like giving assignments and PPTs to the students. So I don't used to teach English more. So the signing practice and the assessments and the feedbacks I used to give them. So we had more discussions and less teaching and more discussions. And the theory part about the deaf culture, linguistic part, and so we used to teach about them. We had less discussion for the first time when we started teaching of this 2 years course. I used to ask ISL-RTC teachers for the assistance and guidance to me, and this year I am becoming better in teaching.
Okay, Sunil. So in Indore, the DTISL course is also running, and the
Yes.
other course is B8HI, right? And then you have regular classes, short-term courses, and Indore Center also gives hostel services. So what are the services and facilities that are there?
Yeah. So DTISL course, I have explained about that. And the other courses that we have here is DISLI course. We also run DISLI course. This is for interpreters. The hearing students apply for this course and they become interpreters. So after teaching this course, it will be easy for the interpreters to communicate with the students. After the all we have here the staff and the students, deaf students. So the interpreters get more opportunity to learn sign language. We teach in the classes the theory part and the practical also, but involving in the deaf community, they get more opportunity to learn sign language, and they become more fluent in sign language. They go to other places also with interpreters. The students, they get opportunity to go with on assignments with the students, because they go to the mall for the visits, and we also have program here, the Ganesh Chaturthi program and other festival program also here. So they get more chances to learn sign language with involving with the deaf community. The other course we have here is B.Ed HI, Bachelor of Education in HI. So earlier Sapan and Pallavi explained about D8 and DTISL course. So they have two courses, but here in Indore, we have B8 HI course. So the students who apply is the hearing students have benefit of learning the B8 HI course, but the few deaf students, like after doing 12th class, they don't have, if they don't have time to attend the classes on regular basis, so we conduct a correspondence course here. So the value of the degree is equivalent to that regular course also. So this is of 2 years. B8 course we have is for 2 years, and 6 month in every 6 month we have 20 days classes in 2 years. So after teaching 20 days, after completing the course, they become the teacher. They will be able to teach zero nursery to class 12th. And other thing is we have accommodation facility also here.
So in
Yeah,
Madhya
we have
Pradesh,
MP
you
in
have
MP.
a placement
Yes.
also. You give placements also.
No, I am not aware about it. So D8 course, after learning the B8 course, they will be able. Sorry, my uh, after doing B8, they will be able to teach only primary classes 0 to 5.
Okay, so Pallavi said it's 1 to 8. So you're saying that it's 1 to 5?
Yeah, I think it's 5. They can also teach up till 8.
All right, all right.
Yeah, one more thing I would like to add is, yeah, we have hostel facilities here. We provide food and accommodation also to the students. We have hostel here. In the ground floor, we have hostel for kids, and in the first floor we have hostel for boys, and upper floor we have hostel for girls. So we also have computer classes and other vocational training also here.
Okay. So this is my last question to you. So DTISL course and TISLI. So I've been teaching in these two courses. So after completing DTISL, these students become teachers. So as a teacher
Yes.
teaching them, so how the students are more interested in becoming teachers or interpreters?
Yeah, in this IDBA school, I started teaching first a DISLI course, and we had a lot of batches every year. ISL and Haryana, we have that DISLI course, and many interpreters are there who have passed out from our institute, from our school, and they have employed in other organizations like ISL and Haryana Welfare Society. So it's really a great opportunity for hearing uh, students. So it's like yeah, I the interpreters who can they have who have skills or other okay, during COVID, so it was difficult for everyone, to manage in that situation. So it is important for D8 and HI course. I motivate everyone to apply for D8 and DISLI course, and after learning and getting certification of that, they will be able, it is more valuable. So if more and more deaf people will apply for it, so we'll have more teachers. The other thing is, you must know about NC, National Council of Deaf,
Educators for deaf.
National Educators of Deaf, NCED conference. So after doing B.Ed, so they will be able to attend that NCED conference, and every year it is held at different places. The many participants over there, they focus on the oralism and audiology. So they really can, as we if we'll have more deaf teachers, then they can question them about the sign language and other things. So right now, we have 40 to 50 students here in D8, and D8 also in Haryana Welfare Society, they have 25 students. So that's really good. If more and more students will apply and they get the certification of that course, so they must attend the NCED conference, and they should ask. They should talk about the deaf accessibility and about the deaf education. So you must be knowing about that ISL. PM Modi have you know uh, uh, announced that ISL should be taught in different schools as a subject. So different associations in India are planning to teach Indian Sign Language in their schools. All right.
Okay, so continue, Sunil. Yes, please continue.
Okay, is that okay? Okay. So we constantly are, just demanding that in ISL should be the official language of Indian Sign Language of India. So DTISL course, it's really important that a student should apply for DTISL and D8 course.
So B.Ed HI, you have like a lot of candidates. So
Yeah.
you want more teachers who have completed this course. So what is the application process? Is it similar to DTISL? for B.Ed HI, like
Yes.
Sapan and Pallavi explained? For
Yeah.
B.Ed HI, like how do they apply for B.Ed HI?
It's the same process that Sapan and Pallavi have explained. Yeah. Sapan has already explained about the rules and the process, so I will not tell this.
Okay, thank you so much, Sunil. Thank you. So once we have the doubts and questions session, we will have you back there.
Yeah.
And if it's
All right.
regarding the Indore Center for B.Ed HI, we will have you back.
Thank you.
Okay. So now we are going to have a next poll. So Gautam, please share the PPT. Okay, so the next poll question is, do you want to be a deaf teacher in the future? So we are talking about the D8 HI and B.Ed HI teachers who want to teach different subjects like math, science, Hindi. So you can answer accordingly, yes, no, maybe. So please bring up the poll. Okay, now the poll is up. Do you want to be a deaf teacher in the future? Yes is that you want to be a teacher, no is that you don't want to be a teacher, maybe you are still confused about it. Please choose one option. Okay, I can see lots of yes. So we have majority for yes, like a lot of you want to be a teacher for the deaf. Is the poll over? Have we entered the poll? Okay, now the results are shared. Okay, so majority of you said yes, 78%, that they want to be a teacher for the deaf. And I think that also tells us about that we want more teachers for the deaf who are proficient in sign and who are deaf. So no, we have 7% and maybe 15%. We will be sharing the PPT again. Okay, so now over to the next question and poll number 3. So now we are talking about ISL teacher, Indian Sign Language teacher and trainer. So for that, you can even teach Indian Sign Language to hearing peers or like to dyslexia students. Or you want to be a teacher in schools where ISL will be a subject. If yes, then click yes. If no, then click no. If still confused, then click maybe. Please share the poll now. So if you want to become ISL teacher, do you want to become ISL teacher or not? And you can click yes, no, maybe. Again, I can see lots of yeses. So you can see the poll. It's still on. Okay, we have the results for poll number 3. So 84% of you want to become an ISL teacher. 7% have said no, and we have maybe 9%. So we have more numbers for ISL teacher actually. So more of you want to become teachers, and I can see that's wonderful. So DTISL course and D8HI course. Both are different streams. So if you take part in DTISL course, then you become ISL teacher, and if you take part in D8HI course, then you become a teacher for the div for different subjects. So we have two students from the Haryana Welfare Society Panchkula Center's D8HI batch, Vinay and Prahlad. So they are part of this D8HI course. So let's have them here. They will be sharing their experiences. All right.
Yeah, I can see you.
Prahlad, can you see me?
Yeah,
Vinay?
yes,
Hello,
yes,
sir. Okay, can you both give a short brief intro about you and what are you doing right now? So you are
yes.
in the DHI batch.
Relax.
So what has been your experience so far and your challenges? And is it like complex or easy or fun? So please share with us.
Yeah, first, Vinay, will you start first?
Prahlad, you do. Prahlad will start.
Okay, so I'll start. Prahlad is here. So my name is Prahlad, PRAHLAD. This is my sign name. I am student of TTIS, D8HI. So it's been 10 months. We are doing this course and we are doing it online, Zoom. So it's really a great experience. I'm really feeling better doing this course because when I was growing up, I had no accessibility in my education, and the concept was really not clear in my education. Then when I applied for D8, we have proper accessibility. Teachers are teaching in sign language, and it's really interesting. The advanced level words that I don't know has something I know and something I don't know. So teachers are teaching us in our ways, and it's really great learning for all of us. So I really want it will be easy for me to become a teacher if I learn everything properly.
Okay, Vinay, would you like to start? Hello, sir. Thank you. My name is Vinay, Vinay. That's my sign name, and I'm part of that DHI batch, the same batch Prahlad is studying in. And as Sapun said and Pallavi ma'am was talking about 25 test students and 5 paying students. So, but I love this experience. I've loved it. I've been waiting for a course where I could become a teacher, and I've been waiting it for so many years. And fortunately, now at D8 HI course at Panchkula Center, it started, and I've applied it. Now I am grateful for this experience. Actually, I've like learned a lot of things. It's been wonderful. And Pali ma'am, my teacher is here. She has given full access through sign language teaching, and now we are doing on our own. I would tell you my experience. Since childhood, I was only told to like to copy paste, read from a paper and then write it in the paper. But I never understood the concepts. I faced those challenges and I did not want future generations to face those challenges. And I can see that like right now I'm doing all the things myself. Our teachers are pushing us to become more confident teachers. I'm trying on my own. I'm reading stuff. I'm writing answers on my own. And practicals also. We are given chance to like teach online classes as well, and then we have to make lesson plans. Like I've learned so much here. Like the teaching does not is not just about teaching in the classroom, but you have to prepare before that classroom also. Then you have to prepare a timetable and then teach according to that thing. And I've taken around 20 classes now, and I can see that improvement in me, and I want to become a much better teacher in the future also and keep doing this good hard work. So Shai Singh, so what is part of that curriculum? So can you share like what all parts of that curriculum? So yes, Prahlad,
Yeah,
absolutely, please.
Vinay, you can share that.
Okay, so at first it's about language, then bilingualism method, then it talked about the methods through which their children are taught, total communication, oralism, and bilingualism. Then we have depth psychology, like the children, what goes in their mind. Because as teachers, we have to be counselors as well, not just teach them, but counsel them to support them. And Prahlad would like to add more.
Yes, in education we are doing this special education for the students. Like we will teach them properly in sign language, and if uh, they are not properly grown, so we will teach them in their own ways, the method appropriately to the students. So we have that we are learning how we can do that in our course. So all the students are not equal. They have different, level of education and knowledge. So we are similar, like VI course and other courses. This is different. Like D8 HI is different. Everyone, the methods of teaching are different for VI students, visually impaired, or other persons with disabilities. So it's great.
So Shazia Singh, wonderful. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Great to have you both here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we have one student from DTISL, Payal. She will be sharing her experience. Payal, can you please raise your hand so that we can spotlight you?
Hello,
Hello,
sir.
Payal. So give us a brief intro and your experience of DTISL. So you're studying at the Haryana Welfare Society's Panchkula Center, right?
Yeah, right now I'll give my short introduction. My name is Payal, and this is my sign name. I am student in the DISL course. So I really like the one thing that we have deaf teachers and they are teaching in our language. It's a sign language, and uh, I'm feeling growing up. I didn't understand what the teachers taught me in school. But right now, when the deaf teachers are teaching us, I understand myself more and understand the course we are learning. So I thought that no, the teachers will teach. Maybe I'll get proper accessibility or not. But right now, here we all are deaf students, and we are discussing among ourselves. And I really want that here, deaf teachers should be there for DTISL course. I know that right now we have less institutes that are having DTISL course, but we have problem that Zoom, we really want live classes, face to face classes, because due to COVID we are not able to study in our institutions. So it's good opportunity like Zoom, but still we'll need
Okay.
that
Thank you, Payal.
in
Thank you for
studying
sharing your
centers.
experience. Thank you.
Yeah, one more thing I would like to add
Mm-hmm.
is the curriculum is totally based on the deaf culture and regarding deaf education. But we didn't know about the grammar of sign language, identity, what is deaf culture. And after involving in many workshops in here and Million, we have got the opportunity to learn about many things about deaf culture. So it's I'm really glad that we are getting this opportunity.
Thank you. Fantastic.
Welcome. Hello, Sunil sir. Hello. Okay, so can you please give us a background, short introduction of yourself?
Sunil sir, hello everyone. Thank you for having me here. So that's my sign name. My name is Sunil, and we have two Sunils here, Sunil Patida and me also. So okay. So I've been born and brought up in Mumbai. So I will tell you about my education qualification. Before that, I want to tell you that I have deaf parents. My brother is also deaf, so we are a good deaf family. So first, I would like to tell you about that I completed BCom. It was a mainstream school, so I wasn't comfortable there, but I had to attend that. I was I had to work hard, really hard. So at that time, I really had to sweat it out to complete that course. And it's been 25 years since that I've been gaining more knowledge. So completing my BCom, I did B.Ed HI. Then I did the ABC level of teaching Indian Sign Language. I became ISL teacher also. So the course wasn't DTISL earlier, it was three levels, A, B, C, and now those three have combined to become a 2 years diploma course, DTISL. Then I went to United Kingdom. I got a grant I studied there, came back to India again. So I completed my MA from there, and then I wanted to do PhD, but I was more interested into teaching deaf students. Teaching was my love and is my love. And I got job for a government post in railways. My family told
Yeah,
me that you
true.
got salary, good salary, and then leaves and everything, but that wasn't my taste. I wasn't interested in getting a government job and all. I was ready to struggle. I wanted to follow my passion and heart. That was teaching. And a lot of people told me that I'm a good teacher, but like people told me that, no, 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 I want to do uh, a business or something like that. So there were like different viewpoints, but I continued in this field. I left that government job and I pursued my teaching passion. Then at IGNU,
Yeah.
there was Basil's course, BAALLS,
Yes.
Basil's course. So I went there and it was in Delhi. So there were no teachers who wanted to teach them. The teachers did not know sign language who had the certification. So I started teaching there. So during B.Ed I thought like students, I can teach you, but they said, no, 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 no. I cannot because I did B.Ed and I could not teach B.Ed students. So I was stuck there. So they said, then you will have to do M.Ed. But I wanted to support these students. I wanted for their betterment. So I completed my M.Ed also in 2019 so that I could teach B.Ed students. And I have different projects as well. I have Sinex that I am working there. It works with the interpretation and translation services. So that's my company, which I've been working along. So I have 15 years of teaching Disney students. I've taught the teachers as well who teach these Disney students. And I've also taught B.Ed and other courses. So you can say like I have several
That's
stars on my
awesome.
chest.
That's really great. You have a lot of experience.
Yes, so I could say total of 30 years and 5 years of entrepreneur and 25 years of teaching. And haven't stopped teaching. I'm still continuing that.
Yeah, so you have taught B.Ed students. Yeah, you did B.Ed HI and M.Ed HI also.
Yes.
So what were your experiences? What did you feel of doing that courses? So what were your challenges or successes?
Okay, if you go back in time, I would say that I taught one teacher. He was a hearing student. He had done the education from America. They saw me and they said, "You have so good skill." But they said that you should teach in oralism. You have good speech skills as well. I said, no, 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 no. I want to teach in sign language only. And I have good Marathi skills as well. I can read and write Marathi well also. And I said that I want to teach in Indian Sign Language only. They said that in America, there's the Gallaudet University. You know about Gallaudet University? Yes. So
Yes.
at Gallaudet University, they are teachers, all of them. The whole environment is signing environment. And I knew that it will be very difficult. In India, like a lot of people are not receptive to Indian Sign Language. The Indian psych is still closed minded to Indian Sign Language. And now it's opening up, but like earlier, it was really bad situation. So we wanted a place where we
Yeah.
can have such kind of university. So that person pushed me to pursue B.Ed. So after that, I
Okay.
did that. I was not planning to do B.Ed. I had no knowledge about that. So that person led me, guided me to that. And then they said, like, after completing B.Ed, you will have to come to our school. I said, no, 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 I want to teach other students. I cannot like be associated with you only. I want to bring impact in several students' life. So they guided me to B.Ed HI. I did that. So in 2003, I joined that, but there was no accessibility, there were no interpreters, I had no understanding. ISL just started in India in 2001 only, the course started. So you can see after 2 years only, I joined BEdHI. So it was through correspondence. I was working in the railways and I got married also. So I was managing a lot of roles, several hats. So grown up with good literacy skills and good signing skills as well. So I would say I was fortunate with that. So while attending the classes, I would fall asleep because it was boring. I did not understand. Teachers used to shout that, "Why are you sleeping? Why are you not focusing?" I said, like, I don't understand what you're teaching. And they would ask, like, do you understand? So I would read the topics and then answer it myself. So I was the lone deaf student in those classes. And I also know that in India, there are several students who have the skills to become wonderful teachers, and I want to be a guide to them because the things that I have done.
Yeah,
And we need
right.
more role models in India. These children, these young children will look at these teachers so that they can become teachers. They can see and get motivated. So during my time of MID, now you can see there's been change of mindset. The situation has changed. So in 2019, there were interpreters provided. I went there. There were exams. Like I earlier, I told you that I used to fall asleep in classes, but now they gave me interpreters. I got the accessibility through interpreters. And then like a lot of students, these interpreters, sorry, these interpreters said that we cannot interpret for Sunil said he will catch our mistake, he will point out, he will get feedback. So I was not able to get good interpreters as well. So that was a challenge. But I would say there was one good experience that really pushed me, that I was told to only use oralism and not signing. I said, no, you need to sign. Those teachers around me, they said that in our curriculum, in our course, it's only about oralism. You have to speak and teach deaf children. So I had to struggle with that thing also, that the curriculum was focused on oralism only. And
Yeah,
now we have one wonderful change that in D8HI, we have added about deaf culture and Indian Sign Language. So these are slow steps and changes that are there. Because if these teachers don't know about it in their course, when they go to schools, they will be like crazy. They won't focus on Indian Sign Language. So we want the education to be through educational bilingualism method. So we cannot blame these teachers, these students. It's about that the curriculum, about the policymakers who are close-minded. We need to bring that change. So we want the changes to come up. How will it come?
exactly.
When we have more trained deaf teachers who are part of the policy making and decision making process. And after 10, 15 years, we might have the change. So we understand these earlier old age teachers, they are close-minded. But we have open-minded, the young generation who are focusing on Indian Sign Language, they can be the change maker. But if you don't have the experience, if you don't have the qualification, then how can you be part of the committees? So we want more deaf to acquire these degrees, to get these diplomas, to get the experience. I would say that that's a long dream that I could not have teachers who signed or interpreters. But now I'm seeing my dream come true also, that in DHI that there are 25 deaf students and I'm interested to be a teacher there also. I've been invited to be a gift lecturer there. So that is what has been my experience. And now that passion is again coming up and I'm hoping that in the future there will be good changes. And I could see like I'm interested in audiology because like deaf children, they face this impairment of hearing. So has to be there. So I want to understand both sides, the oralist viewpoint and the sign language viewpoint, because then only you become more confident. Then you can debate them. So that is why it is important that you need to
Exactly.
understand everything.
Yeah. So you have done B.Ed and M.Ed also in HI. So it's really important that to bring the implementations, and after only getting challenges, we do implementation and bring changes to that
So
thing.
yes, right now I've completed MID. Now I can be part of the expert committee of RCI. I applied for that, and I am the only deaf expert in India who has MID. So I pushed that you need to push, you need to insert, you need to amend the curriculum. They kept saying no to me, no to me. I kept arguing with them. I kept advocating, but I told them that it is my human right and it is the human right of these deaf children and these teachers to know about Indian Sign Language. So we have this one success recently that they have amended the course. They have added this deaf culture and Indian Sign Language topic. So hoping that
Okay,
in the
so
future we have more changes.
relating to that, So your D8 and DDL course. So are you trying to bring some changes, and what were your experience involving in that meetings and
So I would say
workshops?
that we were more focused on D8 and B8, the curriculum. The teachers will be learning from these. I will tell you that D8, DTISL, D8, like these signs. It's about teaching, education. Okay. DTISL, it's about Indian Sign Language teaching. D8 is about teaching deaf children. Okay. So this confusion should be gone. D8HI course was fully focused on oralism. It talked about how to teach deaf children by speaking. So when I became part of the RCI committee, I asked them to please include deaf culture and Indian Sign Language as well. Mention that. And DTISL course is good. The committee has deaf experts and the course is new. But in D8HI, the old course, we need to bring more changes into that and it needs to be
Okay, so
updated. So
you
I'm
are
focused on that.
focusing. The last year you were not involved in that committee.
Okay, the no deaf experts. I have the first this deaf expert for
Yeah,
D8HI
it's really
course.
a great step, and hopefully it will bring many changes.
Yes, I'm hoping that in the coming years there will be more deaf experts like me in that committee, and then we can have like a unanimous approval of Indian Sign Language and more about educational bilingualism.
Okay, so I have one last question for you. So, what are your uh, advice to deaf youths about D8 and DTISL course doing that?
Mhm.
So, what is the objective of doing that courses? So, what will you suggest them or guide them regarding this?
Okay, first of all, there are two perceptions. You need to look at your passion, your heart. Do you want to really teach deaf children or not? My personal experience, I said that I faced a lot of challenges while growing up. I missed on a lot of things. I could not attend the classes. I could see that the hearing peers, they were learning, they were growing up and increasing knowledge, but I had to work double, triple harder. And if you have that passion, you don't want the future generation of deaf children to not face those same challenges, then go ahead, apply for these. And then if you want to become like I'm not saying that you want more interpreters than you want to train like good expert interpreters. I'm not saying that you slap them, but like you want to be a like passionate teacher, Indian Sign Language teacher, that you want to teach interpreters, you want to teach Indian Sign Language, then you can do DTIs. If you're focused on deaf education children, then you can apply for D8 HI or B8. So these are two different. So you have to search in your heart, what's your passion? Okay, so that was the first thing. Okay, Tushar. All right, so that was the first thing. You have to search your heart, seek your passion. What's your liking? The second is like, no, 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 I don't want to be a teacher. Some would say, well, it's so difficult, but you want a job. You say like, I want to get a job. Rozi roti bahut zaruri hai na. So that's the thing. You want to feed yourself, your family. So deaf people work at different organizations like factories and private institutions, but they are the lone deaf person there and they don't get the accessibility there. The people around them don't know sign language. Then this is also a good opportunity because this field will grow a lot, Indian Sign Language field. You will have people around you who will support you. You might even have an interpreter with you all the time. So you might become a role model as well for future generations. So they can become teachers like you. So if you're interested in that, you can also become, if you think that you're not confident
Correct.
enough to be a teacher right now, you can become teachers in the future and gain more expertise while teaching. So there are these two viewpoints, I would say. If you think that these apply to you, then please go ahead and apply for these courses and you will learn on the job. If you ask me, I would say that I had a good salaried job. I left it. I followed my passion. I had that second thing, but I wanted to follow my passion. I wanted to teach deaf children, deaf students. And I did not face any challenges. I had my backups as well, plan B, C, D. My wife also had a government job, so it became easier for me. And then I did not have that mindset that my friends will be getting like lakhs or 2 lakh of salary per month, but I wanted to follow my passion. I was not worried about the world. And second thing, that if you say that you don't want to be a teacher, but you say, can you like work at a fourth position or a clerk position or a retail job? It's better that you get a respectable job like a teacher, because then there's growth, there's a career path for you there. So that is also a positive point for that.
Yeah, it's really important that you follow a passion and you really, guide it
Thank you.
well to the students. And do you want to say something? Anybody have questions? Sunil, are you
I'm
done?
done. I have shared my points
All
with
right.
you.
Thank you so much.
And one more thing. Yes, just one small point. Okay. Yes, Tushar. Okay, so Haryana Welfare Society, the D8 batch. So this Monday, I have started teaching them audiology about speech. So, the course has changed. So I have volunteered. I have accepted the offer. I am now a guest
That's
lecturer
really
there
great.
also. So
Awesome.
I want these children to work hard and become wonderful teachers.
Yeah, your dream came true. Yeah, you now you will
Yes.
start teaching D8 students. That's great. So, do you have, if you have any questions, the participants, then you can ask Sunil sir. Okay, so anybody having question, they can ask your question. Yeah. Utkarsh, hello Utkarsh. What do you want to ask?
My question is to all the panelists.
Okay,
So I have three
one minute,
questions.
Utkarsh. Okay, so you are asking to Sapan, Pallavi, and Sunil. Be ready. Students are starting to ask questions to you. Okay, so one person can only ask one question because there are so many raised hand we can see here.
So I have only three
Okay,
short questions,
three
three
questions,
points.
three questions only, three questions.
Okay. So my question is to you, Sunil sir. Yes, go ahead, Utkarsh. DTISL course. Okay, I am pursuing that. And earlier from IGNU, I did BASILS. So is it similar or different? What's the difference between these two courses? Sunil sir is saying there's like quite a lot of difference between these two courses. So I worked at the IGNU Center for the BASILS course for 1 year. So it's about language, how children learn language one and language two. So about bilingualism, how deaf children learn sign language and then second language, and linguistics. It's not about how to teach children, but about how children learn language. So it was more about the study of languages, that is linguistics. So it was more theoretical. So
How do
that
you
bachelor's
use
course was
language?
how to use language and apply that into your teaching. But if you want to work as a teacher, so RCI says that doing the bachelor's course, you cannot become a teacher. But if you want to become a teacher in school, then you can do D8 or B.Ed HI to become a teacher for the deaf. And then you can get that post. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And my second question,
Tushar
can
is
I
here.
ask that?
Okay, another. There are so many deaf participants are here. So one question from one participant. Okay, Tushar is here.
Akshita.
Akshita.
Hi, Akshita.
Hello, sir. Akshita
So,
is here.
do you have a question?
Yeah, so I want to tell you something about myself, that I studied in deaf school. There I saw that the teachers teach in oral language. They speak while teaching the students, deaf students. They are not skilled in sign language, and they constantly speak and used to speak, and we didn't learn anything while we were studying. After and the books we had, so teachers used to just read and tell us to write and copy that what is written in the books. So we really faced many challenges and didn't get accessibility.
So, like, yes, deaf children have been facing a lot of challenges in education, right?
Yeah, so are you trying to, doing advocacy and trying to change the things? Yeah, so we are doing that, but it's still not happening over there. So we didn't get proper ISL during our studies.
So do you have any question related to the panelist?
No, I didn't have any question related to that.
Okay, so today's session was about like teaching DTS and DS, but thank you for putting that forward as well.
Okay, thank you so much for this wonderful session, and it was really great learning for us. I did BCA, MCA. I'm pursuing MCA also, and I'm teaching deaf students. The deaf students are really willing to learn IT software, information technology softwares, and they are willing to learn that. So I got a job, and I also have Women Foundation. I'm involving in I've involved in that. I'm teaching. I also have ISL certificate. So they asked me that, do you have ISL certificate because you are teaching there? So that's the problem. So I have that question, that is it really important to get ISL certificate? And they asked me that, have you done B8 or D8 course? But I am doing that right now. So what should I do
Okay,
in
right.
this situation?
So who would like to answer? Sapan, Pallavi, Sunil, or Sunil Saraswati? So we are Pallavi. So RCI is responsible for anything related to disabilities, disability rehabilitation, disability courses. So they have a rule that if deaf children are to be taught, then you need to have a RCI certification, right?
Okay, so it's important, is
But
it?
we have discussed like for art teacher and for computers teacher or sports teacher, you don't require that RCI approved
Okay.
course. You don't need to do D8 or DTISL. So RCI says that you can be a PTI teacher or computer teacher. So once you have that thing, you can become that. So D8 is not according to that PTI teacher course. So that's it. So if you have done the certain requirements for those courses, you can apply for that course without doing D8 or DTISL. So you don't need to
Okay.
apply for
Yeah,
D8.
because students constantly ask me that, have you done B8 or D8? So what should I answer them?
So you can explain them that if they want to become a computer teacher, if they have done BCMCA, then they can become only computer teacher. They cannot teach other subjects. No, no,
Yeah,
no. They won't be
exactly.
allowed to do that.
Yeah, because this course is basically focused on the IT thing, but it's not related to ISL. So, but they asked me that, have you done ISL course? ISL is my natural language, and I'm doing that since childhood. So, but when they ask me, it's really difficult for me to answer.
So you can explain them clearly.
All right, thank
And
you,
if
ma'am,
Sapan would
for
like to add,
answering.
he can add.
Yeah,
Tushar,
it's clear
so
now.
okay, so Katharani, I hope that is clear. So someone asked that BSc or MSc. For
Oh,
that
okay.
also, you don't need to do B.Ed, D.Ed or DTISL. You can explain to your students or the people around you so that they are clear. If they still have doubt, you
Okay.
can
Yeah.
watch what are the requirements, like Pallavi said for
Hello,
RCA.
sir. Hello, Sunil, sir.
Sunil said, hello. Yes.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So what's the
What?
sign name?
This is my
Yes,
sign
yes,
name, sir.
yes, yes, yes. One sign. Yes. I have taught you.
Yes,
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 I
you
know
taught
you were so
me. I remember.
young. I remember it. Okay. So like Pallavi said, so you're from Mumbai, right?
Yes, yes. I live here.
You can talk to me. I can support you. No worries. I will explain. I can also try come over there and try to explain them. So if you want to teach Indian Sign Language, if you're not teaching Indian Sign Language, then you don't need to get the DTISL. If you want to pursue to be a computer teacher, then you can
Okay, sir. Thank you.
do
Thank you
that
so
by
much,
doing
sir.
these degrees. So you can ask me personally. I
Yeah.
will be happy to share it.
Tushar, thank you, sir. Yeah,
Thank
that
you so much.
we got the opportunity to attend this session. Thank you so much. And it was really great learning for us.
Wonderful, great. Now we have the next question. Deva Narayanana. Hi.
Hello, sir. Yes, I can see you.
Okay.
Clear.
So do you
It's
have a
clear.
question?
My question is about D8 HI. After doing D8 HI, when the post will be announced of D8 HI, so it will be eligible
After
to
doing
teach the
D8
students.
HI, can I teach hearing students?
Yeah,
So if I complete D8 HI, I can teach deaf students. Like if I get a post in another school, can I get a job in hearing school as well? Can I teach hearing students?
yeah. Pallavi ma'am is saying there are two ways. You can also teach hearing or deaf students also. Yeah. So I didn't understand what you want to learn to teach the hearing students or deaf students. Which course are you talking about?
So actually, my family, my parents, they want me to be a teacher. So like they say that. So I'm still not clear actually, ma'am. I don't know like what I want to do. Like so if I can go forward and become a teacher, I don't know. Like there's no clear clarity there. Like if I do that course, if I don't get a job at a deaf school, can I teach?
Okay, Pallavi ma'am is here that it's the responsibility of the teacher that to teach it's your on your own that what you want to choose that hearing students or deaf students if you don't have proper sign language skills. 1 minute. Yeah, let me give you an example. That suppose you will be the deaf teacher of the deaf students. If you are able to communicate with them properly and have knowledge of proper sign language, then you can teach them. And if you are willing to teach hearing students, then you will be teaching hearing students to become them as interpreters. So you will face challenges. So in the beginning, you will face challenges. You will have interpreters. So for teaching ISL, you will have to do DTISL course. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So like I have good speech therapy. I got a cochlear implant as well. So I identify as a deaf
Okay.
person, but I can have good speech and as well I assign. So that's why I was saying that if I can teach hearing students and if I can be a ISL teacher as well, so I'm still not clear. Like what about that system? So what will be there? So I'm
Yeah,
still
the
not clear about that.
important is that which subject you want to teach hearing students, that ISL, Indian Sign Language. So yeah, you will have to do DTISL course, not D8 course. So if you want to teach hearing students, then you can also do
Yes, ma'am.
D8 HI.
Sorry, it got interrupted. Please, can you repeat, ma'am?
Okay, so if you want to teach the subject to hearing students, that sign language, if you want to teach, then you will have to do DTISL, not the D8 course. It doesn't match with the D8 course. So find out your passion, what you want to teach. You if you want to teach subjects, then you will have to do D8 course. Okay.
Understood, ma'am. Clear. Now it's clear. Thank you so much. That's it from my end.
All right.
Tushar Singh, thank you. Deva Narayanana. But if I have any doubts, ma'am, I will contact you guys again. Thank you
Definitely.
for now. Okay. So going to the next question. Hi, Dipesh.
Dipesh, hello, sir.
So not going to give tea to everyone?
Okay, I have three questions.
Hold on.
Okay,
Only
one
one.
question I am allowed to ask. All right.
Only one. Like others are also
Okay.
waiting in line.
Okay, one question.
Only one. Okay, because others are also waiting. So please keep it short.
Okay, so after doing D8, I'll be able to teach class 1 to class 8. Then after doing B8, I'll be able to teach the class 12th. But I have B8 certification. So will I teach English, Hindi, and other subjects? Or, for example, that they give a, based on the books I have to teach,
Okay, I will
was my internet
reiterate your
free?
question. See, Dipesh. So you're saying that after completing B.Ed, you apply in a school and you are teaching different subjects like science and maths, or do you teach ISL?
ISL. I translate that in ISL and teach them in ISL.
So in reality, actually, after completing B.Ed HI course, you teach the different subjects, not Indian Sign Language.
Yeah, they ask me whatever their doubts are in sign language. So I, based on the books, I teach them in sign language. So, for example, like I did B.Ed. I have the certificate of B.Ed, and I got a job, and I got a job in school. I chose math subject. I teach maths to the students because I know that very well. So, and when I teach them in ISL. Or the other teachers, they teach like the other subjects, English, Hindi, and other subjects in the school. I should I teach them in ISL or based on the books that is written over there? So that is my question,
Okay, now
basically.
your question is clear. If we have the panelists to answer it. So this thing that you're talking about here, Dipesh, it's about sign language bilingualism. So through bilingualism, you can teach, like you can teach the course material
Okay.
as well as teach it in Indian Sign Language as well. But you should be clear that which language that you're using, and the grammar is different in Hindi, English, and Indian Sign Language. And there won't be any issue. You won't face any challenges.
Okay, so the books are written in English language, so I translate it in sign language and I teach that on the basis of sign
Yes,
language,
you
whatever
can
is written
that.
in
You
the
can do
books.
that.
So I have to follow the course, what they
So
have
that is
provided me
what
to
sign
teach.
bilingualism is about. So Tushar is saying, yes, you can do that if you have, like, you can choose
Okay, the
different
page is
subjects
saying
also. You can
okay.
be a different subject teacher as well. Pallavi ma'am is saying, yes, if you're confident in that subject, you can be a teacher for that
All right,
subject.
the page is here. So I did B.Ed, and uh, nearby my house, there are no deaf people are there. So only hearing people are applying for that courses, B.Ed course. So they don't know sign, but they don't know sign language. They will only just teach in a spoken language, and they will tell the students to copy that. So
Yes,
how this
big
problem
loss for
can be
deaf
solved?
children. See, it's a big major issue that is going
Yeah,
on
in
in
my
India.
neighborhood,
Sunil
hearing
sir would like
people,
to add.
yeah, hearing group there near my neighborhood, so they started teaching their B.Ed course. So what's the solution of that?
Okay, so that's a good question, Deepesh. So, like, we after completing B.Ed HI, you can use Indian Sign Language to teach the children. So once you're teaching Indian Sign Language, then that is not correct. You need to do DTISL, but to teach different subjects, you can do it through B.Ed HI. So you need to see what's your skill. Are you fluent in signing? You want to be a teacher of Indian Sign Language? You want to teach specific subjects.
Yeah, different subjects.
So if you want to teach Indian Sign Language, then you will have to do DTISL. So that's the difference there. Okay, I hope that is clear.
Okay, sir. Yeah, one short question, one last question,
Tushar
sir.
is saying that's
Only
it.
short.
Deepesh, no, no, no. We
One
have
last
other
question,
people
sir.
waiting here. We have
Just a
other
quick question.
people. You can contact Sunil sir
Okay,
directly,
sir.
please.
All right, all
Apologies,
right.
apologies, please.
Okay.
So we have other people. They have raised their hands. So next person.
Hello.
Okay.
Can you see me?
So we have Nikita.
Am I visible? Okay.
Yes, we can see you.
Okay, Sunil sir, Pallavi ma'am, Sapan sir, I have seen your presentation and it was really interesting. Uh, I just want to summarize it and ask one question that I'm involved in the Deaf Association, and the teachers over there, we teach them deaf empowerment and the other things to the deaf students over there, and they need one teacher, and we teach one teacher, and they ask us that the documents they with the teachers, what are their experiences and other things. I gave them that what I have experienced, but they say that you have not done this courses, the following courses, that MA. I can teach ISL, and because I know how to teach the deaf students, but no, they demand the proper certification should be there. You must have ISL certificate so that you can teach the other deaf students. But they are choosing the interpreters. They don't have certificate. The interpreters are not having the certificate, but they are choosing them to teach, but not me. Why is that? So DT ISL course, ISL RTC have started the course, but I had less percentage in my school education, 12th, so I was not able to apply for that course. So what should I do now? So am I eligible to teach the students ISL.
Okay, so who would like to answer? Sunil sir, Pallavi ma'am,
Yeah,
Sunita
whoever
Kita,
has this experience, whoever would like to answer
Tapan.
my question, are welcome.
Okay,
Yeah, sir.
hello.
You can see.
So you're saying that if you can have your own private organization or NGO where you can work there without the certification, but once you have that NGO, if it is affiliated to RCI, then you will need to have that course cleared. Since you are a deaf person, you have good signing skills. If NGO asks you that you need to have that certification, then you can apply for those courses. Then you will have to do it. But if it is your own self-run NGO, then you can
Exactly,
do it
but there
yourself.
is a place. Yeah, we are trying to set up these things over there. So when I'll go there, then interpreter, I'll go with interpreters. But they say interpreters, yeah, they selected interpreter, but not me. They must have ISL certificate to interpret, right? But I don't have.
Maybe
They
like
rejected me and chose
that's
the
not
interpreter.
ethical. The process is wrong for
Yeah.
selection
So
there,
what is
maybe.
the other thing? Like I don't know what to do. That's why I asked this.
Sunil sir would like to add. Okay, so Tushar is asking, so like they choose an interpreter to teach the children there, right? So what is the role of the interpreter there? To teach
No,
Indian Sign
not
Language
to
or
teach. Interpret. To interpret
okay, okay. So
for
to interpret
interpreting.
only. So okay, for the post of interpreter, they
Yeah.
have the qualification, right?
They also, not just interpreting, and they also do other things also, not just interpreting. But I want to motivate deaf students and encourage them in learnings, but they are not choosing me.
Sunil sir here. Sunil says in reality in India is that. Can you see
Yes,
me, Nikita?
yes, sir, I
So
can
in
see.
India, you need to be clear what's the system, but people are not aware about it. You might say that the thing is not right, that they are not working correctly, they are not working ethically. Then you can advocate there. You need to fight for your rights. Once you raise your voice, then the school will open their eyes. Then they will stop with their false practices. They might have like employing their relatives or friends or like that. But if you raise your voice, then they will stop with their funny games. So you need to show them that deaf people need to be employed. I know it's been going on for years, but when deaf people raise their voice, so don't be worried. We will support you. Other associations also will support you. Like in Assam, once we send letters from all over India, people will be aware there. We will support you.
Yeah, I can I teach other subjects also? Is it important to have certificate?
So you're saying deaf children, right? Or hearing children?
Yeah, deaf adults.
Okay, deaf
Deaf adults who
adults.
have passed their schools. After passing the schools, I teach them.
Understood. So the school need to be more open-minded. If they have a teacher here, adults are above 18, right?
Yes.
So in schooling, the children are below 18. So you need that certification like B.Ed or D.Ed. So you can do those courses. But some of them, like at the age of 20 or 22, they get those services through sign language. So then they need to bring deaf teachers there. So you need to see like what is the rule of the government. Is it talking about below 18 or above 18? So you can have external teacher who can teach them. But regular classes, those teachers below 18 cannot teach. So adults need to be more open-minded. The schools need to be open-minded that they can have some discussion that you
Okay.
need to have deaf person teaching and training those people who are adults who did not have access to Indian Sign Language.
Okay,
So
sir.
deaf
Understand.
first. They need to choose deaf people and have that
Okay.
exposure to
Hopefully that
those
things will
people.
change and I'll do advocacy. I'll continue that. Thank you for sharing, sir.
Great. We have one more person, Sangeeta. Sangeeta Gala. She's it.
Hello.
Hi, Sangeeta.
Yeah. Let me
Yes, you
introduce
can.
myself. This is my sign name, and my name is Sangeeta, Sangeeta. So I'm living in Mumbai. Since childhood, I dreamt of teaching the students. I really wanted to teach deaf students. I'm involved in acting and Bollywood, but still I feel really close to the students, and I want to teach them. It's my I like that. But the D8 and DTSL course, I understood about that, but it's not clear to me something. But it was not clear to me. But right now I understand it clearly, that what is the difference between that. So is it? Am I eligible to teach right now after, because I am 60
61.
years? Yeah, 60 years above. So DTISL course is for the teaching deaf students, and teaching ISL, basically ISL grammar, and they also I'm confused that what is that. And D8 course is for teaching the subject, like any subjects I teach, that I have experience of that. But the teachers who are not who don't have experience of that, will they be able to teach that? I really want that, uh, not the teachers not to be dependent on the other teachers. They can teach independently, but how will they teach? Because their background is, because of their background education, they have not get proper education. Because I saw that here in Bombay. I see that many schools are dependent on oralism method to completely. Most of the schools, I saw that back in the 8 years back, I saw that many deaf, before 8 years, the education was proper and it was good. But why is the difference? But right now we have proper sign language access, but still education is not proper. So why is the difference? So I really disagree to that thing. So would you like to answer?
Okay, so we got your question. Like, who would like to answer?
Sunil is saying.
Okay, so we have Sunil, Sahasrapati.
Hello, Sunil.
Hello, Sagita.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so
So
much.
I'm surprised to see.
Yeah, I really
Uh,
I love
so you
teaching.
like us, young
I love
person here. Like
teaching.
I can see, I thought like there
It's
will be a lot
really
of
close
youth,
to
but
my
it's good to
heart. I
see
miss teaching them. I'm involved in the
old
Bollywood,
wine
but
here.
still it's in my heart that I love teaching.
Agree that passions never die. So that's a good question by you. So 1970 to 1980, like those time, the teachers used to teach really
Yes,
well.
yes.
But I think I would say in your time it was good. But my
Yeah.
parents are
In
deaf,
Bombay,
right?
I'm talking about that Bombay and Chennai.
Yes, at other
Yeah, you
locations
know that.
the schools were really
There
good.
was
I would be
totally
honest with you.
oralism, completely oralism, not the sign language. That was really great.
Maybe like during those years, there was no TV, there was no roaming around. People only focused on studying. So
Oh, is
they
that the
had no
point?
mobile and technology. Understood. So they had more time to focus on those things. So I won't say like as
Yeah,
time
it's the point
changes,
actually.
your focus changes.
Yeah, after those years, I see that they are not getting proper
See, I'm
education. So
talking
why
about
is that?
TV, not mobile phones, TV, television also.
Yeah, they have become habitual of doing that. Deaf people love to watch TV and other things, but there is no captioning. But still, they like to watch that, and they go to other associations and meet with deaf community, but not the TV.
Yes,
Yeah,
they used to go to different associations programs. So I agree with that the times were good, but still deaf had like really low percentage passing percentage, and only a minority
yeah.
gained
I've
access to
researched that
education.
thing.
So I'm not saying like a very small number, but still a small number. So 1960s to 80s, like if I can say 100 deaf people, out of 100, 25 were good literate, and 75. It's just an example. I'm just giving an example. 25 literate, 75 still facing challenges. Now, if you do that thing, out of 100, only 5. 95 are illiterate. So you can say in those times, 25 were able to read and write, but now the reading and writing, the literacy skills are very low among deaf people. So that is what I'm trying to tell you, that as time
Yeah,
changes,
what
the
I have
situation has changed.
observed is like 55% deaf people. What I have observed is they have job and they can also talk and communicate well properly using sign language. They are doing their business as well. So 55% are there, but not 25. 55% are there, but still the other deaf students I'm talking about is. I understand your point, what you were saying.
No, no, I understand what you're trying to say that those are things. They're the different ratios. Okay. So from like 60s and 70s and 80-year-olds, a lot of people went to Gallaudet also. And a lot of people said that the experience is wonderful there. All the deaf people are reading, writing there. They wanted to go to Gallaudet. They said, no, nothing is good in
Yes.
India. We are at loss.
Yes.
So like they were surprised that there are so many learnings in America at Gallaudet. They were more confident. Okay, they
Yes.
like become wide-eyed, surprised to see that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So remember that in those times there was no TV. Like people used to come together, share ideas. There were less distractions.
Yeah, when they go to America, when they went to America, they left India and didn't come back. But basic the foundation they got from
I
India
agree,
only,
agree, agree,
and they
agree.
thank
I
India
understand,
for
agree.
their proper education.
But what I'm trying to say is like what the
But
belief is that
but the thing about worry is that I see that many young deaf students are there and who cannot write properly. Their literacy skills are really low. They just
yes,
copy.
that is
They,
there. I will be
they just
honest.
copy in the
Yes,
school.
that's
So
true.
how to solve that thing?
So see, it's the circle. You're going from one end to the other, like that will happen. So we need to bring that change. We need to get back to those times. We need to have more literate deaf people. So I think the progress has been made. We are taking the steps. So in the coming future, we will have that same high percentage of
So
literacy in deaf.
right now they are not literate properly. So are they allowed to do a job as a teacher?
I think we can have like personal detail talk. I agree with you. What
Yes, that's
all the
my
points you're
question
sharing.
actually.
Tushar is saying, see, like we are running out of time, so maybe we can have more further discussion on this topic later on. Sunil is saying, like we will have more talk with you, Sangeeta. Tushar is saying, now apologies, now the time is up for the question round. So we have the four panelists. You will be sharing the contact details. You can contact them personally. Yes, Sapan. So Sapan is saying, oh, so are you ending it now soon? Right. So Sapan is saying we can have more conclusion, like ending remarks. Pallavi has some ending remarks, so she can share that with you all. Okay. So Tushar is here. Tushar is saying, all right. So what I was saying that poll. We have one final poll question. So Gautam, please share the presentation. Okay. Poll question number 4. Do you need more information about the diploma program and job opportunities of becoming a deaf teacher? Like after doing these diploma courses, D8 and DDL, and the job opportunities of becoming a deaf teacher, if you want more information, if you desire that, then click yes. If you feel that this was enough, then click no. If you're unsure, then click maybe. So please open the poll, Leon. Okay. So I am reiterating the question. It says, do you need more information about the diploma program and job opportunities of becoming a deaf teacher? So if you need more information, then you can click yes. If you say that this was enough, then click no. And if you're unsure, then click maybe. Please choose one option. Start clicking, everyone. So let's share the result of the poll. So 89% of you say that you need more information. So you need more information regarding this diploma program and the job opportunities. 9% says maybe and 2% says no. Okay, that's it. We also have with us Sodamani Pethe. Thank you. Thank you, Hera Million. Yes, Tushar. Go on, Tushar. So Damini will be sharing her about her survey, a Google form. She will be telling us all about that. So Damini is saying yes. Thank you for having me here to the Hera Million team. I will be sharing about my survey, and I am seeing that after doing 12th, there are so many opportunities for them to become teachers. So I want to share something with you related to my Google form. There are some options there. What about the challenges and accessibility needs or sign language interpreters? I'm collecting the data regarding that. So it's an online survey. It's for my advocacy work that I can use that at several universities that there is no accessibility through sign language interpreters. So I want to just know how many of you are here who have done participants who have done 12th. Some of you can raise their hand. Like I would like to get some number. Tushar, if you can let me know how many of you are here who have done 12th. I don't know. Tushar is saying I have no idea. So okay, so you can see like only
19.
19 people have applied for my survey. So I want more and more deaf people to fill that survey. So I will be sharing that. So in the chat, you can see that please fill that form so that we can use that to create more impact and advocate for your rights. Together only we can bring that change. We can be more stronger. So alone I cannot do. So if you don't share your problems with me, how I can take it forward? So that's why I'm here. I want to bring all of you together on one platform, your challenges together. So I request you all in the chat. I've shared the form and please fill that if
Yeah,
you have any
Tushar is
doubts.
saying, yeah, sure, you can send the link on the chat box. Thank you, Sadamini, for your question. Thank you
Great,
for
thank you.
explaining. One last question, Sapan Sunil, do you want to add something?
Sapan is here. Okay, so yes, who would like to add first? Sunil Patidar.
Okay. Thank you, Sadamini. You can share your link here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Oh, you can take me off the spotlight.
Okay, Sapan will start. Okay, so Sunil, would you like to add to Sapan? Okay, so Sunil is here. He said that registration process, yeah, it's the same for both the courses. But one thing I want you to know that the Bhuj University for the B8 course, they have their links on they put their link on the website. You can see that over there. And those who want to apply for B8, we are running the course here, and they also provide us authorization certificate. So you need to attach the authorization certificate along with the mark sheet for getting the RCI registration process. And those who have after doing college, you can apply for BA course, for B8 course, sorry. And after doing 12th, you can apply for D8 course.
Sapan. Okay, so I know we are closing it. So I want to inform you all that D8, HI, and DTI still applications are going on. The deadline is 11th November. So you think you can apply it like later on or mid of the year, next year. If you are interested becoming a teacher, then I know that the time for this session and discussion is short. You can join our Telegram group. So D8 and then there is hearing impairment. So you need to remember diploma in education, special education, hearing impairment. So I have some points that I want to share with you all. So can you apply for D8 and DTISL? Yes, you can apply for both the courses. So, but you cannot join both the courses simultaneously because the regular courses. So only one course you can pursue at one time. You can apply for both of
Yeah,
them,
so Sunil is
and
saying,
in whichever
can
course you
they
get
do both the
selected, you
courses?
can. So yes, so you can apply for both of them, but then you will have to choose if you get selected in both, or if you get selected in one, then you it's a regular course. If you get selected in both of them, then only one choice is. So that was the thing. Then second was D8 and B8. D8 is like lower than B8. B8 is much better. See, it's about becoming a teacher. By doing B8, you become a teacher for classes 1 to 12. For by doing D8, you become a class teacher for classes 1 to 8. That's the only difference. That's it. So there's no issue. You want to become a teacher, then do these courses. That's it. Then I could see one for D8 HI and B8 HI. I would like to do only B8. But what about DTISL also? No, 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 no. You don't have to do DTISL. If you have done B8 and if you're interested in becoming an Indian Sign Language teacher, then you can do DTISL. But it's not necessary that after completing or doing B8, you have to also do DTISL. Or you can, if you have completed your B.Ed and if you want to pursue DTISL, you can pursue DTISL as well. And D8 HI you can do after 12th, but B.Ed HI you need to do after your graduation. You can only apply for that. There's difference in percentage also. For D8 HI you need 50% above. For D8 both hearing and deaf candidates can apply. For 45% above, DTISL students can apply, and only deaf candidates are welcome for that. D8 and DTISL courses, I want to tell you that by doing D8 HI, you can teach different subjects. And HI means hearing impairment, so you are teaching deaf students there. So you need to be careful that you are applying for the hearing impairment course. And DTISL, you become a teacher of Indian Sign Language. So you can teach dyslexia students. So that was the clarity that I want to share. My points are done.
Yeah, it's clear now. So D8 and DTISL both are different, and they cannot do simultaneously both the courses. Yeah, so that's right. Thank you, Sapan. Yes, Pallavi.
So a lot of people have doubts like, do you need to learn science in that subject? No, 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 no. In D8 HI, you don't learn these subjects, but you learn the techniques, strategies, the method to teach these subjects. So you're not getting to learn class 1 to 8 science, but you're learning how the methods and the techniques to teach these subjects. So in this, you learn how to make the teaching learning material, TLMs. So you don't go back and learn all the classes for to it. So don't be worried about that. I don't know science. How will I pursue D8 now? So don't be worried about it. It teaches you how to teach science. If you're interested in some other subject like English or maths, then pursue for that
Great.
teacher
Thank you,
post.
Sapan and Pallavi. Thank you. Okay. One last thing that I would like to add is that so we have two different courses here, DTISL and D8. And B.Ed also, we have discussed about that. And hopefully that everyone, it's clear to everyone that in India, in India, we'll have more deaf teachers and more hardworking deaf teachers in future. So the other students will, just copy the role models who have already been teaching, since last few years.